So we're going to be starting a slab container. Now, when I say slab container, I say that pretty loosely. So for example, here is a box. It's it's a flat top pyramid, and this actually is made to be a light box. So on the bottom is a hole, because what you can do is you can then place a candle inside here, and you'll see the light flickering through these holes, sort of like a jack-o'-lantern would work, okay? Here's a container. I call it a multi-unit container. It's got 8 sides to it. I think 8 sides. 8 sides to it, and then it's divided in the middle with places that you could put things. So the container can be purely decorative, or this is a light box. Here's a container that could actually hold things, okay? Here's another container that's made, this is all made from clay slabs. So this has got curved sides, but the sides are still flat. So think about that. Anything you can make a side, like this piece of cardboard here, you know, the side could be flat or it could be curved, but you can't make something dome-shaped. It'd be like trying to wrap a basketball with paper. You can't do it without a bunch of wrinkles, okay? So let's say you were gonna make a cylinder. You could take a rectangular piece of paper and you could roll it like this, and you could make a cylinder out of clay slabs. So that's one of your options. You could make a cylinder, you could make a box, but you're gonna make a container some way out of clay slabs, okay? Now let me show you how you're gonna design your container. So for example, I don't want anybody to make this a plain rectangular box. It's gotta be more than this, okay? So what we have here, you can see a lot of options I've got. A multi-unit container, here's a pyramid-shaped box, here's a rounded-shaped box, here is a box that looks like a little house, it's actually a little birdhouse, and then what I did is I cut the top off so that it's actually a container you can put things in, okay? And the top goes back on. But it was assembled as a solid box. In other words, there wasn't a cut here when I assembled it, okay? So I'm gonna show you how, if you were making something like this, how you would design that thing, okay? So this is what you're gonna do. First of all of these are made of clay slabs. They're pieces of clay that we're gonna stack up, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I need to cut a pattern that I'm gonna follow for this. So I'm gonna show you what to do. So let's just say that I was making this container. So I would need a rectangle for this side, a rectangle with a triangle on top for this side, and then I would need something for the roof, and that same size here is gonna go here, and then I also need a base for it. So I need basically 4 different patterns that I'm gonna follow later, okay? So what I'm gonna do with that is this. Let's say I'm making these patterns. Let me just show you. You could use a ruler, or a lot of times I'll just use like a paper ruler like this. So let's say I need to figure out what this side is gonna be, and then I'm gonna add a triangle to the top. So I'm just gonna kind of guess at the side and say, okay, I need a rectangle that's this side. So what I did here is I'm just using a white pencil right now so you can see it. So I took a little paper ruler and I said, okay, right there is gonna be the width. So I put a mark on my paper ruler, I move that mark up to here, and I put a mark on my paper, okay? Then what I did is I drew a line between those 2 marks that I made, like so, okay? Now up here, I need to determine, I wanna make sure this is straight across. So I take my ruler, and I'm gonna lay it here, and I lay it on here and say, okay, right there is the length of that. So I'm gonna put a mark right there. I'm gonna move this over, put a mark right there, and draw a line across. Now I'm gonna add this triangle to the top. That's where a compass comes in. So what I'm gonna do, normally you'd have a regular pencil in there, but I'm gonna switch it with my white pencil so you can see it. Doesn't have to be a white pencil, you can use a regular pencil. For demonstration purposes, I'm using the white pencil, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the point of my compass, okay? Let me just zoom in just a tad here. So I'm gonna take the point of my compass and I'm gonna set it right on this corner right there, okay? Then I'm gonna determine how high do I want that triangle to be. Are you watching? I'm gonna swing that arc right there. So swing an arc, okay? Then I'm gonna take my compass and put it on this point. I'm gonna swing an arc, okay? Now I know that the distance from here to here is the same as the distance from there to there. So I'm gonna take my paper ruler and I'm going to connect this here and here. Okay? So this piece of paper is what I'm going to use for one of the sides of my box. So I'll take a scissors and cut that out. Okay? Now I know that I'm going to use this side 2 times. So I know it's kind of like, well, no kidding, I'm going to use it 2 times. But a lot of times I'm like, I don't want to make a mistake. So I'm going to write ×2 on here. I'm going to use this 2 times. Okay? Now, I need the side for my box. Well, that's pretty easy. I want the side to be the same height as the box here. So once again, I'll take this ruler that I used before, and I did it this height. I put a mark there. There already is a mark. And I'm going to put a mark about right there. Here, I can draw a line straight across there. Like so. Oop, I'm off a little bit. And then this one, I'm going to go, okay, let's see here. I'm getting a lot of marks on here. I'm going to do it this width right here. I'm going to switch this down to here and go right there. Okay? I'm going to draw a line between those. Okay? And I'll cut that out. So that's side number 2. So I'm making this little house-like box. Okay? So once again, here are my 2 sides. I'm going to have this on one end and this on the other side. Okay? And then I'll repeat this ×2 because it's going to go here and here, and this is going to go here and over here. Okay? So I'm going to put ×2, and I'm also going to put an arrow. Arrow means that's the top. Okay? Arrow means this is the top, but this is pretty obvious. Okay? Now, next thing I need is the roof. Now, I want a roof that has overhangs on it like this. It hangs over on the side and it hangs over on the end. So what I need now is I need a rectangle. When I look at these two, the rectangle has to be longer than this span right here. It's got to be longer than this, okay? And it's also got to be longer than this side. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say if this was my side, I want my roof to go from about here to about there. So I'll take my compass, and I can use my compass as a ruler too, and I'm just going to put a mark right there, okay? Now, that's going to be one measurement for my top of my house. I'll get my ruler. I'll draw that line in there. Okay? And I'm going to cut that out. So I know that this is the side. This is going to be one of the sides, but it's obviously too long this way. So once again, here's my 2 sides. Okay? I need my roof to overhang this side a little bit. I got it overhanging a little too much. Okay? So what I'm going to do is probably go like this and say, okay, I need it to overhang on this about a little bit more. Where'd my pencil go? So about right here. And I'll cut a line straight across there. I'm just going to do it quickly by eye there, just like that. Okay? So this is going to be my roof. I'm going to label that. I'm going to put the top of the roof here. And I need this ×2. So here's one side, ×2. Here's the other side, ×2. Here's my roof, ×2, and it shows you the direction of the roof. Now you'd say, why are you putting the direction of the roof? Because if I want to put, I got a thing I can roll my slabs and make shingles on them. And I want to make sure the shingles are going in the right direction. Okay? So the last thing I need is a base. Now my base should be larger, are you listening? The base should be larger than my building, okay? Because I want to have extra room around my base. So right now I know that I'm just going to make a rough cut here and say that, okay, here's one side right there. Here's my other side right here. And obviously my base is plenty big. I'm going to make my base larger than what I need. Got that? Now, so I'm just going to write base on here. So what you're going to have to do first is plan, what are you going to make? Is it going to be a container that's like this one and it looks like a house of some sort? Okay. Is it going to be a container like this? If it's a container like this, you'll get a long piece of paper like this, and then you'll fold it. You'll fold it in this. So this tells me this is what I'm going to use if I was going to make a container like that one. So this is the pattern that I'll use. I mean, this is the piece of paper I'll use for that. If I was going to make a pyramid, here's a pyramid. Take a look at this one. It's a pyramid with a flat top. So what I did is previously I cut out a rectangle. So I want to make my pyramid as wide as the base here. So how do you take the pyramid? Well, if I want the pyramid to be, as high as this, I'm going to take my compass once again. I'm going to set my compass up here. Are you watching? I'm going to set it on this point. I'm going to make my pyramid come all to about here. So I'm going to swing an arc there. I'm going to set my point over here. I'm going to swing an arc here. Okay? Then I'm going to take my ruler again. I'm going to lay my ruler down here. Here. I'll lay my ruler right here. Okay? And that is going to be the pattern that I'd cut from my pyramid. Now, this has to be perfect because I'm going to use this for 4 sides now of my pyramid. Got that? Okay? So if the pyramid was too high, I think this is a little too high. I don't want that high. Obviously, you could draw a line here and make it a little bit shorter. So this I'm going to use times 4. Now for my base, I just need to make sure the base is larger than this base. So I'll be building my pyramid on a base the way this one is, and later I can cut a hole in the bottom if I want to do that. These holes I do after this whole thing is assembled and after it's leather hard and somewhat stiff. Then I cut the holes out. Got that? Okay.